Hey guys, this is Nitin here. Welcome back to my channel Automation for All. So in today's video, we will talk about top 10 Java interview questions and answers for 2022. So these are the frequently asked Java questions in any of the automation interview. Around 70-80% questions will be asked from this list only. So if you prepare these questions well, then you will be able to crack the automation interview easily. So let's start. The first question is, which is the superclass in Java and what all methods it has? So object class is a parent class of all the classes in Java by default. It is a topmost class, and object class is present in java.lang package. Object class by default is having 11 methods. Right? So uh, the methods name are like clone, equals, finalize, get class, hash code, toString, notify all, wait with one parameter, wait with two parameters, and wait without any parameters. So these three wait methods are overloaded methods. Now the next question is, what is the difference between final and finally? So final is a keyword in Java, and if you declare a class as final, then that class cannot be inherited. If you declare a method as final, then that method cannot be override. If you declare a variable as final, then that variable cannot be changed, and you cannot change that variable will become the final, and you cannot change the value of that variable. And finally is a block in Java which is used actually in the exception handling. So it can be used either with try, it can be used with try catch, it can be used with one try and multiple catches. So these are the possible combinations. Finally cannot be used alone. Finally block will always be executed regardless of whether exception is thrown or caught. And finally is used for cleanup of code such as closing of database, closing of file, or closing of any connection. All right, so the next question is, what is the exception class hierarchy and what are the checked exceptions? So basically we have a object class as topmost class, then throwable is the subclass of object class, and then we have two classes, one is exception and another one is error, which are the subclasses for throwable class. And in exception class we are having checked exception and unchecked exception, right? So checked exceptions are compile time exceptions which occurs at the compile time, like IO exception or interrupted exception or AWT exception. Unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions which will be triggered at the runtime only. So null pointer exception or arithmetic exception or number format exceptions, these are the example of unchecked exceptions. Errors are like those are cannot be recovered. So those the example for those are virtual machine error, assertion error, memory leakage error, etc. So if you understand this exception hierarchy thoroughly, then you can easily answer the questions. Now next is, what is the difference between abstract class and the interface? So basically an abstract class can contain some abstract method as well as some concrete method, and abstract class should be declared by using keyword abstract. Inside abstract class we can declare a constructor which will be executed at the time of child object creation, and variable present in abstract class need not to be public, static and final. While interfaces, when we talk about interfaces, an interface contain only abstract methods. There are no concrete methods in case of interfaces. Interface is declared using the keyword interface. Inside interface we cannot declare constructor, and every variable inside interface is always public, static and final, whether we are declaring that or not, right? The next question is, what are the real example of method overloading in Java? So method overloading is nothing but having the same method having the same methods multiple times in the same class but with different signatures. So signature could vary in the type of argument or in number of arguments. So we have some methods already there in Java, right? So example of such methods are we discussed about wait method of object class, right? So wait was the overloaded method. right? And next is we have couple of methods in string class like substring method. Substring method is having one parameter, that is just a begin index, and substring method is having two parameter. First is begin index and the last index. Now we have another method in string class, that is index of method. So we have four variation of this. So first method is accepting only one parameter, integer character, and second method is accepting a string type of value. Third method is having accepting two parameter, int ch and int from index, and fourth method is having again two parameters, but that is different from the third one. So the first parameter is string str, and then the next one is int from index. On the same note, we are having last index of method of a string class. So here also we are having four variations, right? So first method is accepting one parameter, second method is accepting one parameter, but the data type is different. Third method is accepting two parameters, and again fourth method is accepting two parameters. But if you compare third and fourth method, then the type of argument are different. Okay, so these are the real examples in Java for method overloading. Now the next question and most frequently asked question is, what is the difference between array list and linked list? So array list basically internally uses dynamic array to store the elements. Okay, and manipulations with array list is very slow. Array list is better for storing and accessing data, and the memory location for the elements of an array list is contiguous. Whereas linked list internally uses doubly linked list to store the elements. Manipulation with linked list is faster than array list. Linked list is better for manipulating data, and memory location for linked list is not contiguous. Okay, now next question is, what is the difference between list and set? Now what list is? A list represents ordered collection of element. List preserves the order of element in which they are stored. List will allow duplicate values. Access element by index is possible in list, and list allow null elements to be stored. Whereas a set represents a collection of elements, order of elements may change in the set. And set will not allow duplicate value. Accessing element by their index is not possible in case of sets. And set will not allow null elements. Okay, the next question is, how do you iterate the collection objects as in list, set, queue? So basically there are four ways to iterate the collection objects, right? So first is for each loop. Second is iterator. Iterator is having two methods, has next and remove. List iterator is having five methods, has next, has previous, and remove. And enumeration is again having two methods, has more elements, next element. So mostly for each loop and iterator is used for iterating collection, right? List iterator can be used to iterate only list type of object, and enumeration is from legacy class, so it is least used. Now next question is the star question. What is the difference between Hashmap and HashTable? Right? So basically both store data in the form of key and value pair, right? Whereas so if we talk about the differences, so Hashmap object is not synchronized by default, whereas HashTable objects are synchronized by default. In case of single thread, using Hashmap is faster than HashTable. In case of multiple threads, using HashTable is advisable. With single thread, HashTable becomes slow. Hashmap allows one null key and multiple null values to be stored. HashTable does not allow null keys or null values. Hashmap was introduced in 1.2 version of Java, and it is not a legacy class. HashTable was introduced in Java version 1.0, and it is a legacy class. Now there are some program-based questions which interviewer will ask you while the interview, and they will ask you to write the code either in Notepad or any of the online editor available. And these are the most frequently asked program-based questions, like how to reverse the character string, how to reverse words in a string, how to reverse each word in a string, how to compare to array list, how to sort an integer array, how to reverse an integer or a integer string, how to find duplicates element in a string array, and then print the elements along with the number of occurrences. So there could be various way to do that using for each loop or using set or using uh, Hashmap. How to print patterns in Java. So there are multiple questions around patterns, right? So interviewer may ask any kind of questions in that. Then how to check if a given string is palindrome or not, and how to check if given number is a prime number. So for these questions, I have already prepared my playlist. So this is my channel name, Automation for All by Nitin, and I am having uh, all the videos starting from very basic in Java, right? So please go through with this, and this is the Java interview questions for test automation playlist, wherein you will find couple of program related questions, right? And I am working on the remaining questions, so I will upload them soon, right? Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you are notified whenever I am uploading any new content. And this is the playlist about core Java tutorial. And if you are looking to improve your knowledge in any of the Java topic, then we have I have all the videos here, like string and arrays in Java. Then I have two videos about exception handling in Java, and then polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, collection framework. All videos are here, so you can go through with this. We'll share the link of these videos in the comment section. All right, thank you so much for watching the video.